Let's talk about something that's been shaping men's confidence and conversations for decades: size. You've heard it, you've seen it online, and maybe even felt pressure around it. But here's the truth. When it comes to health, performance, and longevity, size isn't what really matters. It's time to separate fact from fiction. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and today we're going to tackle one of the biggest misconceptions in men's health: that your worth, strength, or vitality is defined by physical size or appearance. The reality is, most men are focusing on the wrong things. You might be working hard in the gym, pushing limits, or chasing an ideal image. But if your hormones are off, your nutrition is poor, and your recovery is ignored, none of it works the way it should. Men are under enormous pressure from media, from peers, even from themselves. But what truly matters is internal health. Your muscle quality, your protein intake, your sleep, and your stress levels are the foundations of how you look and feel. Real masculinity isn't about competing with a number. It's about owning your health from the inside out. So today, we're debunking 5 common myths that are holding men back from feeling and performing their best. And I'll share practical, evidence-based tips you can start applying right now. No fads, no gimmicks, just real science and real results. When we talk about health, strength, or what it means to be a man, society often pushes one message louder than the rest: bigger is better. From social media posts to fitness magazines, the image of the ideal man is often one defined by size, broad shoulders, bulging muscles, and low body fat. But here's the truth most men don't hear enough. Size doesn't define health, strength, or masculinity. Internal wellness, not physical appearance, is what truly determines how strong, capable, and confident a man really is. For too long, men have measured their worth by external standards. They compare themselves to others, chase unrealistic body goals, and end up feeling inadequate when they don't meet the image they've been told to achieve. The problem is that this mindset doesn't just affect self-esteem. It affects real health. When your focus is purely on how big or lean you look, it's easy to ignore what's happening inside your body: your heart health, your hormone balance, your sleep quality, your stress levels. These are the things that actually sustain strength and vitality. True strength isn't about the number on a scale or the size of your arms. It's about how your body performs, how efficiently it recovers, and how balanced your system is from the inside out. You can have large muscles but still struggle with fatigue, inflammation, or hormonal imbalances that make you feel weak or unmotivated. On the other hand, someone with less visible muscle mass but a strong metabolism, balanced nutrition, and good mental health may be far stronger in ways that truly matter. Many men fall into the trap of believing that physical size equals capability. But let's look at what science tells us: muscle quality, not quantity, is what really influences performance and longevity. Healthy muscle tissue supports metabolism, regulates blood sugar, and protects against diseases like diabetes and heart disease. So even if you don't have massive biceps, if your muscles are strong, functional, and well maintained, you're doing exactly what your body needs to thrive. Internal health determines how your body uses energy, how you recover from workouts, and even how you age. When internal systems like your hormones, digestion, and sleep are working in harmony, you feel stronger, more focused, and more confident. There's also the mental and emotional side of this. When men tie their value to their appearance, they create an unhealthy cycle of comparison and dissatisfaction. No matter how much progress is made, it never feels enough. That's because the motivation isn't coming from a place of health. It's coming from insecurity. Real confidence doesn't come from fitting into an image someone else created. It comes from understanding your body, respecting its needs, and taking care of it with consistency and discipline. Strength starts in the mind. When you shift your focus from appearance to performance, from aesthetics to health, everything changes. You stop chasing validation and start building resilience. Think about what truly defines masculinity. It's not just physical dominance. It's leadership, stability, endurance, and integrity. These qualities come from taking care of yourself in a sustainable way through smart training, proper nutrition, recovery, and emotional awareness. The men who inspire others aren't necessarily the biggest in the room. They're the ones who move with purpose, live with balance, and treat their health as a lifelong investment. When your foundation is solid, your energy levels rise, your focus sharpens, and your relationships improve. This is what internal wellness gives you the power to live fully and intentionally. It's time for men to stop letting external pressure dictate their goals. Health isn't a competition, it's a commitment. You don't need to compare your progress to someone else's highlight reel online. What you need is to understand your own body, how it functions, what it needs, and how to support it over time. That's what real masculinity is about, taking responsibility for your well-being, not trying to prove it through appearances. The most impressive men are the ones who quietly do the work, who eat well, train consistently, get enough rest, and manage stress, not for attention, but for longevity. If you want to be truly strong, focus on the fundamentals that make your body thrive. Prioritize protein, lift smart, sleep deeply, and take care of your mental health. Don't fall into the trap of shortcuts, extreme diets, or overtraining just to look a certain way. That kind of approach may get short-term results, but it damages your body in the long run. A strong body without internal balance is like a beautiful car with no engine. It might look impressive from the outside, but it won't take you far. Internal wellness is what fuels your body to perform, recover, and sustain energy day after day. When you start valuing internal health over external validation, your perspective shifts. You begin to see fitness not as punishment, but as a form of respect for your body. You start training smarter, eating with purpose, and resting without guilt. You stop obsessing over the mirror and start listening to how you feel. How your body moves, how well you sleep, how much energy you have throughout the day. Those are the real markers of health. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. It's about showing up for yourself every day and choosing habits that strengthen you from within. So if you've been caught up in the idea that size is everything, it's time to let that go. Your health journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the strongest version of you. Real masculinity isn't defined by how much space you take up, but by how well you take care of yourself. Strength is built from the inside out. It starts with how you think, how you nourish your body, and how consistently you commit to your well-being. When your internal health is aligned, everything else, your physique, your energy, your confidence, falls into place naturally. Size fades, appear when it comes to building strength and improving health. Most men tend to focus on the size of their muscles rather than their quality. It's easy to assume that the bigger your arms or chest, the stronger and healthier you are. But in reality, muscle quality matters far more than muscle quantity. Having massive muscles might look impressive, but if those muscles aren't functioning efficiently, supporting your metabolism, or helping your body perform optimally, then their value is purely cosmetic. True health and longevity depend on what's happening inside the muscle tissue, how it's built, how it's maintained, and how it supports your overall physiology. The quality of your muscle determines how well your body processes nutrients, stabilizes blood sugar, maintains hormonal balance, and resists disease. This is why the strongest and healthiest men aren't always the biggest ones. They're the ones with strong, resilient, and metabolically active muscle that works for them, not against them. Muscle quality is about how efficiently your muscles function, not how large they appear. It's about density, strength, endurance, and metabolic power. High-quality muscle tissue is rich in mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures that power every cell in your body. When your muscle quality is high, your body uses energy more efficiently, burns fat more effectively, and recovers faster from stress and exercise. On the other hand, low-quality muscle, even if large, can be filled with intramuscular fat and inflammation, reducing strength and slowing down metabolism. This is why some people can appear fit but still struggle with fatigue, weight gain, or metabolic issues. Their muscles might be big, but they aren't metabolically healthy. Building muscle quality requires a deeper understanding of what truly fuels growth and repair. Protein intake plays a massive role here. Protein is the foundation for muscle repair and recovery, and getting enough of it, consistently and from quality sources, is essential for maintaining strong, functional muscle. But it's not just about quantity. It's about timing and distribution throughout the day. Eating high-quality protein with every meal supports muscle protein synthesis and keeps your energy levels stable. Combining this with resistance training that challenges your muscles, not just with heavy weights, but with controlled, intentional movements, creates the kind of muscle that is strong, stable, and long-lasting. Another key aspect of muscle quality is how you recover. Many men underestimate the importance of rest, thinking that constant training is the only way to grow. But muscles don't grow during workouts. They grow during recovery. Without proper rest, nutrition, and sleep, your muscles become overworked, inflamed, and less efficient. This leads to fatigue, injuries, and even muscle loss over time. High-quality muscle comes from balance, pushing your body when it needs to be challenged and allowing it to heal when it needs rest. Sleep is particularly vital, as it's during deep sleep that the body releases growth hormone, repairs muscle fibers, and resets the nervous system. Without it, even the best workouts won't give you the results you want. The quality of your muscle also has a profound impact on your metabolic health. Strong, efficient muscles act like an internal engine that keeps your metabolism running smoothly. They store glycogen for energy, help regulate blood sugar, and play a major role in insulin sensitivity. This means the better your muscle quality, the lower your risk for metabolic diseases like diabetes and obesity. It's one of the main reasons why maintaining muscle as you age is crucial, not for looks, but for health. As men get older, muscle mass naturally declines, a process known as sarcopenia. But it's not just about losing muscle size, it's about losing muscle quality. That's why focusing on resistance training, adequate protein, and active recovery becomes even more important with age. These habits help preserve muscle function and keep your metabolism strong. Another often overlooked aspect of muscle quality is mobility and flexibility. If your muscles are tight, imbalanced, or filled with tension, they can't function properly, no matter how big they are. Quality muscle moves smoothly, supports posture, and allows your body to move freely and efficiently. Stretching, mobility training, and proper warm-ups are essential for maintaining muscle quality because they keep your tissues healthy and prevent injuries. When your muscles are functional and balanced, you move better, perform better, and feel better overall. It's not just about lifting heavy. It's about how well your body moves and responds. Nutrition beyond protein also plays a critical role in supporting muscle quality. Micronutrients such as magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids contribute to muscle function, reduce inflammation, and support recovery. Hydration, too, is key. Dehydrated muscles are weaker and more prone to cramping and injury. Fueling your body with nutrient-dense foods, staying hydrated, and managing inflammation all contribute to maintaining strong, healthy muscle tissue. The men who perform best aren't the ones who eat the most calories. They're the ones who eat with purpose, choosing foods that nourish and repair their bodies from the inside out. Mental health and stress management are also directly linked to muscle quality. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels, which can break down muscle tissue over time and make it harder to recover. Managing stress through mindfulness, deep breathing, and rest days helps maintain hormonal balance and muscle strength. When your mind is healthy, your body follows. Training hard while staying calm, focused, and consistent creates the ideal environment for muscle growth and repair. It's not just physical effort that builds muscle, it's mental discipline and emotional stability that sustain it. The truth is, the obsession with size often leads men to overlook what really builds lasting strength. Steroids, overtraining, or crash diets may deliver short-term visual results, but they destroy muscle quality and compromise long-term health. What you want instead is longevity. Muscles that serve you for decades, that help you stay active, independent, and strong. High-quality muscle is your best defense against aging, fatigue, and chronic disease. It supports your heart, your bones, and your brain. It's not about looking powerful. It's about being powerful in every aspect of life. So when you think about your goals, shift your focus. Instead of asking, how big can I get? Ask, how well can my body perform? Instead of chasing numbers, chase function. Aim for muscle that's strong, resilient, and responsive. Build it with smart training, proper nutrition, adequate recovery, and a balanced mindset. Because in the end, the men who live the longest, move the best, and feel the strongest are not the ones with the biggest muscles. They're the ones with the best quality ones. That's where real power comes from. Muscle that works as hard as you do, from the inside out. Ain'ts change, but the strength you build through internal wellness lasts a lifetime. Nutrition, sleep, and hormone balance are the real performance boosters, yet they are often overlooked in men's health. Many men pour their energy into training harder, lifting heavier, or chasing supplements that promise quick results. But the truth is that no amount of effort in the gym can make up for poor nutrition, chronic sleep deprivation, or a disrupted hormonal system. The foundation of physical and mental performance begins long before you step into the gym. It starts with how you fuel your body, how you recover, and how you manage stress. These three pillars, nutrition, sleep, and hormonal balance, work together to build strength, focus, endurance, and long-term health. Ignoring even one of them can undo the progress made in every other area. Nutrition is the first and most powerful lever you can control. What you eat doesn't just affect your weight, it influences your energy levels, hormone production, muscle repair, and cognitive clarity. A diet centered on whole, nutrient-dense foods, lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and plenty of vegetables provides the raw materials your body needs to function at its best. Protein is especially important for men because it supports muscle repair and maintains lean mass, which in turn keeps metabolism active. But protein alone isn't enough. You need balance. Carbohydrates fuel training sessions and brain function, while healthy fats regulate hormone production, particularly testosterone. Without adequate fats from sources like olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish, your hormone levels can plummet, leaving you fatigued, irritable, and weaker over time. The best diet isn't extreme, it's consistent. It's about eating with purpose, choosing foods that nourish and sustain you instead of foods that simply satisfy a craving or fill an emotional void. The problem for many men is that modern lifestyles have made poor nutrition seem normal. Processed foods, excessive caffeine, alcohol, and stress-driven eating habits destroy balance. You can't expect your body to perform like a high-performance machine if you're feeding it low-quality fuel. Every meal is an opportunity to improve your performance or diminish it. When you prioritize nutrition, you'll notice the difference almost immediately: more stable energy, clearer focus, better workouts, and improved recovery. Even your mood and confidence shift when your body is properly nourished. Food is information for your body, and when you give it the right information, it knows exactly what to do: build muscle, burn fat, balance hormones, and keep your system strong. Sleep is the second, equally vital pillar of performance. In a culture that glorifies hustle, rest is often mistaken for laziness. But biologically, sleep is where your body rebuilds itself. It's when growth hormone is released, muscle fibers are repaired, and your brain resets. Without adequate sleep, typically 7 to 9 hours per night, the body struggles to regulate hormones like testosterone and cortisol. Poor sleep reduces testosterone levels, impairs recovery, and increases cravings for sugar and unhealthy foods. It also raises cortisol, the stress hormone, which encourages fat storage and muscle breakdown. In other words, when you don't sleep enough, your body works against you. You can train intensely, eat perfectly, and still feel stuck if you're not sleeping well. Good sleep hygiene is a performance strategy, not a luxury. Creating a consistent bedtime routine, reducing screen exposure at night, and keeping your sleep environment cool and dark can drastically improve the quality of your rest. Even small changes, like cutting caffeine after noon or getting morning sunlight, help regulate your circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock that governs hormone release, digestion, and energy cycles. Quality sleep doesn't just make you feel rested. It optimizes your hormones, boosts your metabolism, sharpens your mind, and elevates your mood. When sleep is prioritized, everything else becomes easier. Your workouts feel stronger, your cravings decrease, and your motivation rises naturally. The third element, hormone balance, ties everything together. Hormones are your body's internal messengers, controlling everything from muscle growth and energy to mood and focus. When your hormones are balanced, your body operates like a well-tuned engine. When they're out of balance, everything starts to feel off. Testosterone, in particular, plays a major role in men's health. It affects muscle mass, bone density, libido, and even confidence. But what most men don't realize is that testosterone levels are highly influenced by lifestyle. Poor sleep, high stress, processed foods, and lack of exercise all contribute to lower levels. Instead of jumping to artificial fixes or quick solutions, it's important to first restore natural balance through daily habits. Resistance training, proper nutrition, and quality sleep are the foundation of healthy testosterone levels. Chronic stress is one of the biggest silent killers of hormonal balance. When stress is high, cortisol remains elevated, which suppresses testosterone production and disrupts other hormones like insulin and thyroid hormones. Over time, this leads to fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, and decreased motivation. Managing stress doesn't mean avoiding challenges. It means learning how to recover from them. Activities like meditation, deep breathing, time in nature, or even simple moments of gratitude can lower cortisol and restore hormonal balance. It's also important to schedule downtime, time when your body and mind are not being pushed to perform. Recovery is not just physical, it's hormonal. Men often underestimate how connected these three areas are. You can't fix one and ignore the others. You can eat perfectly, but still feel drained if you're sleeping poorly. You can train hard and sleep well, but see no progress if your hormones are unbalanced. Everything in your body is interconnected, and optimal performance requires harmony among all three systems. Think of it like a triangle. Nutrition, sleep, and hormones form the foundation that supports everything else. When one corner weakens, the entire structure wobbles. But when they're aligned, your strength, focus, and vitality become unstoppable. There's also an emotional component to this balance. When you're well, nourished, rested, and hormonally balanced, you think clearer and react calmer. Your confidence rises because your body feels stable and capable. This isn't about chasing perfection. It's about building resilience. It's about creating a lifestyle that allows you to perform at your best, not just in the gym, but at work, in relationships, and in life. The goal is sustainability. You don't need extreme diets, punishing workouts, or endless supplements. You need consistency, real food, real rest, and real balance. So if you want to unlock your body's full potential, start with these three essentials. Eat to fuel, not just to fill. Sleep to recover, not just to rest. And live in a way that keeps your hormones steady and your stress manageable. That's where true performance begins. When these elements are in sync, your body doesn't just look better, it functions better. You'll have more energy, sharper focus, deeper motivation, and a sense of strength that lasts. Because in the end, lasting performance isn't about how hard you push, but how well you recover, how well you fuel, and how balanced you remain in the process. Confidence comes from consistency, not comparison. In today's world, it's almost impossible to avoid comparison. Everywhere you look, on social media, in the gym, on television, you're shown images of men who seem stronger, leaner, more successful, or more disciplined than you. It's easy to start questioning yourself and wondering whether you measure up. But real confidence doesn't come from trying to compete with someone else's highlight reel. It comes from showing up for yourself every day, putting in the work, and knowing that you are progressing on your own terms. Confidence isn't built in a moment. It's built over time through small, consistent choices that strengthen your body, your mind, and your discipline. When men tie their confidence to comparison, they end up chasing an illusion. You can always find someone who looks fitter, earns more, or seems more accomplished. That kind of mindset creates a cycle of insecurity because your self-worth becomes dependent on something you can't control, someone else's life. True confidence is internal. It's built when you make promises to yourself and keep them. When you wake up early to train, even when you don't feel like it. When you choose a healthy meal instead of junk food because you value your health. When you push through discomfort instead of quitting halfway. Those small wins stack up over time, and they create a quiet, unshakable sense of pride. That's what real confidence feels like. It's earned, not borrowed. Consistency builds trust within yourself. Every time you follow through on your commitments, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. This internal trust is far more powerful than external validation. It means you no longer need to compare your progress to anyone else's, because you know your worth is rooted in your own effort. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up even on the hard days. It means accepting that progress takes time and that setbacks are part of the process. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be better than you were yesterday. Every rep, every meal, every night of good sleep, and every small act of discipline adds up to long-term growth. The truth is, confidence and consistency go hand in hand because consistency creates results that can't be faked. When you live with discipline, you start to see changes in your energy, your focus, and your body. Those results give you genuine confidence, not the kind that depends on likes or compliments, but the kind that comes from knowing you've earned it. When you stay consistent with your training, nutrition, and mindset, your confidence becomes rooted in reality. You don't need to seek approval or compare yourself to others because your proof is in your effort. It's in the way you move, the way you think, and the way you carry yourself. Comparison, on the other hand, steals energy. It shifts your focus away from growth and toward insecurity. When you compare, you stop appreciating your progress. You overlook how far you've come because you're too busy measuring yourself against someone else's chapter 20 when you might still be on chapter 5. Everyone's journey is different. Genetics, lifestyle goals, and experiences all play a role. What matters is that you're moving forward, not that you're moving faster than someone else. Real growth happens when you learn to focus on your own lane, when you stop looking sideways and start looking inward. Confidence built through consistency also translates to every area of life. The same discipline that helps you train consistently can strengthen your relationships, career, and emotional well-being. When you develop the habit of showing up and giving your best, you bring that energy into everything you do. You become dependable, focused, and calm under pressure. That's the kind of confidence people respect. It's quiet and steady, not loud or performative. It doesn't need attention. It commands it naturally. Confidence rooted in consistency doesn't crumble when things get tough because it's built on a solid foundation of self, respect, and discipline. It's also important to understand that confidence doesn't mean you'll never have doubts. Everyone experiences moments of uncertainty or self-criticism. The difference lies in how you respond to those moments. When you've built consistency, you have something to fall back on. You can remind yourself of the times you pushed through difficulty and succeeded. That memory of effort and perseverance becomes your anchor. Instead of letting self-doubt control you, you use it as motivation to keep going. Over time, that process strengthens your resilience. You stop being afraid of failure because you know that failure is temporary, but consistency lasts. Building this kind of confidence requires patience. In a world that rewards instant gratification, patience is rare, but it's one of the most powerful traits a person can develop. You can't rush results that matter. Whether it's building muscle, improving mental health, or achieving a goal, real progress happens gradually. Consistency teaches you to trust the process, even when you can't see immediate change. Every small effort plants a seed, and eventually, those seeds grow into something meaningful. This understanding shifts your mindset from frustration to gratitude, from "I'm not there yet" to "I'm becoming who I'm meant to be." Consistency also teaches humility. When you commit to showing up daily, you realize that there's no finish line to health, growth, or learning. There's always more to improve, more to refine, more to learn. This humility keeps you grounded and prevents arrogance. It helps you stay open to growth while maintaining confidence in your abilities. Humility and confidence can coexist beautifully when both are built on consistent action and self-awareness. The best part about confidence built through consistency is that it inspires others. When people see your dedication, your quiet discipline, and your refusal to give up, they notice. They may not see every step of your journey, but they feel the energy you bring. You become someone who motivates by example, not by words. That kind of influence is powerful. It encourages others to believe in their own capacity for change. You don't need to shout about your progress. Your consistency speaks for you. At the end of the day, confidence isn't something you find outside yourself. It's something you build from within, day by day, through action and integrity. It's the result of countless small decisions to keep going when no one's watching, to do what's right when it's inconvenient, and to trust yourself when it's hard. The more consistent you are, the more unshakable your confidence becomes. And when your confidence comes from consistency rather than comparison, it can't be taken away. It doesn't depend on validation or competition. It lives within you, steady and secure, because it's built on the one thing that never fails: your own effort.